This one was probably the most difficult movie to find that I've ever had. It's based on wordplay, and you guys gave me one, and I was very close to picking it, but I couldn't give up, and I kind of cheated.
You
a
had
little
to
bit,
pick it
I feel like,
yourself.
Yeah.
I did. I had to find something.
I
I was so close with so many things. Like, just so close.
What were the words?
Cocktail and mermaid.
Yeah, they were.
Feels like
And there was
it should be easier than it is, right?
I swear, I looked at James Bond films. I looked at a movie with Tom Cruise called literally Cocktail. And I was like, there's got to be a mermaid in here somewhere. They're at a beach. There's got to be decorations of a mermaid.
Tim went
I
a
was looking
different
around. Like, I
direction than me.
dug deep into movies, like going through pictures and stuff without, watch trailers. I couldn't find anything. And I know there's a ton out there. I know there is, but
Yeah.
I
I would have gone
find the
for.
one.
I just would have gone for like resort movies that had like a mermaid.
I mean, that's kind of what I was
picture.
going for.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's essentially what I was going
Yeah.
for. But anyway, this is a boy.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go.
Yeah. A boy and his friends go to a wizard competition, and things get complicated.
Oh my!
But you guys already know.
Ron Weasley, Ron.
I was gonna say our first Harry Potter. Let's see how we
Yeah.
do.
And it's smack dab in the middle, right?
Yeah.
It's, like, it's not the first, it's not the end. It's just literally like in the middle.
This was a lot of people's favorites.
It's my favorite.
Yeah, so that was another
it's
reason that I
wrong.
was like okay with it because it's a popular one. So it's like
Yeah.
sure, why not? Alrighty, so we're Flipper Flicks, and I'm Tim.
I'm Adam,
I'm Sam.
and she's doing something
Hey.
weird with her headset, her microphone.
She's being goofball.
I can't get comfortable with it today. What can I say? Ah! Now it's really far away. It's
All
fine.
right.
It's fine.
fine. It's fine.
We
It's
don't need
fine.
to waste people's times with this.
Sorry, Tim.
I was
Sorry,
sitting
Tim.
here for like
Oh,
15
yeah.
minutes and I could have done it then.
Yeah.
Well, today we have an adapt or die. I had never heard of this movie. I don't remember where I even saw it to pick it, but
I was curious of that.
I know.
yeah, I honestly I don't have any idea where I found this movie. It's from 2014, so it's not like it's new and like was being spread around. So maybe I saw a random trailer for it. I don't know.
It was
Could
on
be.
Netflix.
It is on Netflix, yeah.
So maybe
Yeah.
it popped up on your
But-
feed.
But I don't get it on Netflix like anymore since they changed it to like the house stuff and whatnot.
Oh.
I haven't been on Netflix in a long time. I was thankfully able to log on and watch it online, and then
Yeah, it's weird. You can. We're not gonna say it. I don't want them web crawling. Anyway, so you were
anyway.
able to watch it. You were able to watch it. We were able to watch it. We own
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But we
Okay,
actually watched
gotcha.
it on Netflix.
So you guys seen it before?
Yes.
Oh,
Gotcha.
we've seen it multiple times. I've seen it at least 3. This was at least 4. Sam's
Okay.
seen it more than that.
I gotcha. Well, for the listeners out there, the movie is Whiplash. The true synopsis for you is a promising young drummer enrolls at a cutthroat music conservatory where his dreams of greatness are mentored by an instructor who will stop at nothing to realize the student's potential.
That's accurate.
It's adequate. Yeah.
Adequate.
Yeah, that's a long sentence, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's an adequate sentence.
So that almost, I don't know. It sounds intriguing reading that.
Yeah.
But you don't, I mean, to stop at nothing is an interesting phrase for something like this. But
Then you watch it and you're like, okay, I can
It's
get
like-
there.
yeah, but it's like to stop at nothing to me is like an action movie, a revenge action movie. You know what I mean?
Ah, okay.
Oh, they do use that phrase.
Get
a lot,
injured. Yeah. They do it all the
Yeah.
time. Just stop at nothing.
So you watch a
Like-
lot more action films. So yeah, we don't catch that phrase nearly as much.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this movie was nominated for Best Picture back in 2014. And it was your Spark film?
Yeah. I would say that. I'm trying not to talk because I'm like, if I talk, then it'll just be like, there will be a lot of gushing over this film. So I'm trying
Do it.
to
Let it out.
Just
Let
let
it
your
out.
freak
be
flag
like,
fly.
here you go. You guys
Yeah.
can say your
That's what this is
opinions.
for.
But yeah, I mean, I think the Oscar run, we were talking about that Oscar run and it had like Bridge of Spies.
No, I was wrong. That was
Oh.
2016.
Okay, well, I don't know then.
It
We're
had
talking
Boyhood.
about that Oscar run, and this was one of the first movies from the Oscars that I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. And I remember seeing the scene for the Are You Rushing or Dragging? I think it was in the trailer or it was either the clip they used during the Oscars, and I was like, oh fuck yeah, I gotta watch that movie.
They have the
crazy.
cymbal scene too. They throw the cymbal in the trailer.
Yeah. So I was like, this
Okay.
movie looks crazy. I'm in. And then I watched it and I loved it. A lot of the reason for the music, obviously, right? As well as the cinematography. And I think J.K. Simmons does a ridiculous job in this movie. Like, he's so good.
Yeah.
And then anytime I show this to somebody, they're like, why the fuck do you like this movie? It's so stressful. Like, I was so stressed out for the entire, like, hour and 40 minutes. And I'm like, I don't know. I just kind of like it. You know?
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me.
I mean, it does make me stressed, but I watch stressful films.
Yeah.
Like Parasite makes me more stressed.
Yeah. I could see
Yeah, I
that.
can understand that. This movie's a different cut. Like, I fully vibed with this movie, to be honest with you. The very beginning, though, when he's just drumming, I was like, this is going to be irritating. That
Oh
was
yeah?
my first thought. I was like, this is going to drive me insane. Because it's just, I can't handle that kind of music for very long.
Gotcha.
Like
And
percussion.
so, like, the ending scene, like, I was actually into it just because of their interaction.
Yeah.
But, like, if it was, I mean, I couldn't close my eyes and listen to that. It would drive me insane. I don't know why, but,
So
yeah,
you're not into drum solos.
right.
So Tim does
I don't
not
know, I just
listen to
don't get it,
Rush.
right? I'm just like, I don't really get music, so
Yeah, so that was kind of an interesting pick for you.
Yeah.
I know that's why I did it.
Nice. Very good. Very good.
Now, the adaptation, this is where this has nothing to do with you, Tim. The adaptation is ridiculous to me. So the guy wrote an original screenplay, put it on this thing called Blacklist, which is a very big screenplay thing, like website where people can rate it. And it was one of the top rated screenplays for 2012. He couldn't get funding for the film. So he was like, okay, I'm going to make an 18-minute version of it. So he does that with J.K. Simmons. And then he immediately wins the Sundance, like, critics, like, short film jury award or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he got funding for a full film.
Gotcha.
So it's adapted from his
Itself.
originals. Yeah, it's adapted from itself. It's a recursive adaptation. And I find that hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh my
That's
God, is this a
interesting.
book? No. There's an 18-minute movie that's based off of the original screenplay.
Yeah.
And the first drafts of it were a psychological horror.
Interesting.
I still think it has a little bit of psych in it.
It does.
Yes,
would
it
say.
does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see Blumhouse produce it, Tim?
I didn't see that. No.
So I'm like, what the fuck is Blumhouse Productions doing with a like indie drama film?
Yeah.
Because they're horror.
Right. Yeah.
You've probably watched more Blumhouse than us.
Probably.
Oh,
Yeah,
definitely.
Probably.
Yeah.
There's a good chance.
I mean, they make good movies too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed the intensity of this movie because I understand, like, I'm on the side of J.K. Simmons. Like, I
Yeah.
understand what he's doing
Yes.
fully. Like, there are people that, not saying that I'm not one of these people where I am, but there's people that haven't suffered, right? Quotations. Everybody has some kind of suffering that brings out like the best of them, and that's kind of what he was putting them through is suffering to push them to find who they actually are, and pull out their actual talent and their drive to be better. That was his whole goal with it. And made sense to me. It's how the military used to be.
Yeah. Well, and the mind games he plays, like for
Dude.
the first practice, he's like, show
Oh,
up 3
yeah.
hours early.
Fuck,
Like,
it
what
was
the
so hard.
fuck?
Dude, and then do you think that Andrew lost do you think he purposefully lost the sheet music, or do you think Fletcher stole it?
I think Fletcher stole it.
Fletcher stole it.
Yeah, so it's up for debate.
Okay. Because
No-
it was on the chair.
Yeah.
He couldn't have, like, I don't understand how he would have lost it. Like, somebody had to go by and grab it. And he says, like, a janitor, but I'm like, nah, Fletcher's just coaxing her
He
up. 'Cause
just had a
before
whole
that-
speech
Exactly.
where
yeah.
he's yelling about don't lose your fucking sheets.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Exactly.
And he uses the word fuck a lot.
He does. It's great.
Yeah.
I respect it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he's like, I think it was the first practice that Neiman was in the band, and he's like, somebody's out of tune, and then he like makes the one guy leave, and he's like, he wasn't out of tune, you fucking were. Like, but
Right,
he
like,
didn't
dude,
know.
what the
It's
fuck?
Like, what?
Also,
he probably just wanted that guy gone anyway, though.
he did.
Yeah.
I mean, it just makes sense. He's like, this guy is not pushing it, you know.
I like how he goes in the beginning and he's like, goes to the first chair of like saxophone girl. And he's like, are you here because you're cute or because you're good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she just
Lazy sausage.
fucks up.
Yeah.
But everybody in studio band, aside from the redheaded dude that they brought in and Miles Teller, those are all musicians.
Oh, that's
I was
cool.
wondering.
None of them are actors.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the Tanner the third, the original drummer
Mhm.
was teaching the other two the best ways to drum because he's an actual drummer.
I was wondering because the arm strength alone to do.
Oh
some
my
of
God.
This, I was like, was
Yeah.
Miles Teller doing any of it?
Yes.
Like
I think 60% of him you seeing him drumming is
him
him.
drumming. Damn.
I would imagine it's all the times you can see his face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause a lot of times
Exactly.
they zoom in on just his hands or do some stuff. And
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was a drummer. He's been drumming since he was a kid.
Ah.
So-
Okay. That's cool. So not as hard to do then. Because I was like just thinking about prepping for this movie. Like, what if you're somebody like fucking Brad Pitt who I have no idea if he drums? And it's like, I need you to like hardcore drum, not just like kind of
Right.
drum.
I think you should be the best drummer in the world.
Yeah. Basically.
Well, so when he's doing like the scene where he's like doing 400 beats per minute.
Yeah, the 400s.
Mhm.
Okay. So Charlie Parker is known for his extreme speed for saxophone.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of his music was 380 beats per minute.
Damn.
So asking for 400, that's over 6 a second.
Wow.
That's
Just-
insane.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
So you're hitting 3 beats with each hand per second.
That's
over that.
crazy. Yeah.
And
And what impresses me even more is the people. This is also something that I recognize within like the shooting world, but people that can hear and see minute details to the point where I have no idea what they're talking about. Like he's like, you're off tempo or what? You're not on my tempo or whatever. I'm like,
Yeah.
I have no idea what your tempo. I don't know what.
what's a tempo?
Speeding up and slowing down. I'm like, I understand the like clapping and stuff, but then he's like faster, no, slower. Like
Rush
to
or
be
drag?
able to be like, I want it right here, and the difference is just very
Minuscule.
slight.
Yep.
It's crazy to me.
To add on to
Crazy.
the mind games, Tim, when he said, count me to 215 beats per minute, he nails it perfectly.
Nice.
And he's like, were you rushing or dragging? And he wasn't
Yeah.
doing either.
Right, he's fucking with him because he
I
wants
know.
him to be perfect as.
Yeah. Well, and back to the 400 scene, like he has a lot of good quotes, but he's like, I want you shitting perfect 400s. And then like right before that, he tells the whole band, like, take 10, take 20, take a fucking
Yeah.
hour. Like, I don't care. And I don't know. There's so many times where I'm just like, oh my gosh. And then I don't know how long they were doing that for, but it was like hours. And then when Connolly adjusts the seat, he's like, really? You're going to adjust the seat? Like that was your
That
part
was
the whole
it. That
time?
was it. You needed to adjust the seat.
It's just like, I don't know. It's classic stuff to me.
That was great.
It makes
Yeah, the
me.
writing in this was fantastic.
Oh, definitely.
It's so good.
What I thought was hilarious is, could you imagine like being drums? Like, there's only one drummer.
Yeah.
There are
Yeah.
like 3 or 4 saxophone players, like multiple trumpet players.
Mm-hmm.
You have chairs. You're fighting for one seat.
Yeah,
Right.
So much more stressful.
definitely.
There's apparently a sign that says if you can't read music, go be in a rock band.
That's funny.
That's good.
But and I wanted to bring up that a moderate speed of like music in today's time is 86 to 97 beats per minute.
Wow. Okay.
I thought that number should help.
Yeah, that does help
Yeah,
a lot.
that's crazy.
So Tim, what did you think of the dad?
I think he understood at the end.
Yeah.
Kind of had a Frank
Definitely.
Reynolds moment.
Yeah, he did.
But
between
obviously
doors.
he didn't understand having drive and passion enough to be willing to go through that kind of suffering and, belittling, whatever you want to call it, in order to find, his true talent, and whatnot. So the dad, until the end, I was just like, oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
Well,
Leave him alone. Let him do his thing.
The dinner table really fucked with me. I'm like,
Oh, yeah, that was crazy.
okay, one guy's in the top school in the nation, top school in his like shit, and he's in the top band in that top school.
Yeah.
Right.
And the other guy's in Division 3.
Football. Yeah.
Right.
Andrew's a
And
dick.
they're talking shit.
And Andrew
Yeah,
was a
but rightfully
dick.
so.
Right.
Yeah.
He talked his shit.
Yeah. I don't know. You got to feel for Andrew the whole film, really, because like his dad is like whatever about it. His family's whatever about it. And then J.K. Simmons is such a dick
I know.
to him.
Mhm.
And he's just like trying to do the best he can. And there was the one, what was it? When he first brings Connolly in to like just mind trick with him. And like he gave Connolly the sheet music all day and Andrew's just now getting it. And it's like,
Yeah.
and he's like, yeah, he earns the part. And it's like, no, he fucking didn't.
I
Like,
know.
Come on now.
Also, he fucked up his whole life for one concert. If he just had a smidge of humility, he wouldn't have gotten hit by a car. I mean, by a semi truck.
Yeah.
Because he forgot his sheet music
Yeah.
or his sticks. He left his drumsticks.
It sticks, yeah.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. He's a freshman. The other guys were clearly older. Like, there's no, like, and people were getting in and out constantly. It's not like he wasn't going to get another chance.
He didn't accept that, though. He wanted to be the best.
I
already.
know.
Yeah.
I know. Stubborn.
Well, and Tanner never got really another chance. I mean, he does eventually when they're doing the 400s.
Right.
But it takes him a long time. Like, he's basically turned my fucking pages for a while.
That's true. It's a medical condition.
Yeah, that was wild that he knew the charts by heart.
I mean, you're supposed to.
I know, but he hadn't been playing that long.
That's
with
true.
him.
That's true.
At least, I mean, it doesn't say how long it's been, but it doesn't seem like a long time.
What did you think of the, was it a lawyer? I don't really, social worker? School attendant? When she was like, would you characterize his conduct as extreme?
Yes, I laughed out loud.
Yeah.
Throwing chairs at people's faces? Yes, I would say yes.
Right? And then the other quote that I really like is from Fletcher. There are no two words in the English language worse than good job.
Yeah, that's my favorite quote in the whole film.
But I say
Yes.
good job all the time.
I know, but it's true. It's the delivery of the line, too. You're like, oh, shit, he's
Mhm.
right.
Dude, so let's talk about that end scene real quick. I'm
Which
hopping all over. The actual end drum solo.
Where
Yeah,
he just
yeah.
gets with it.
Like,
He just jumps in.
first off, there had to have been another drummer.
Why?
Before, like, Andrew was brought on.
Yeah.
This was like the day before.
Yeah.
He
It was
didn't know
right
he was going to
before.
run into Andrew.
Yeah.
So Fletcher being the ass, he's like, fuck off. I'm going to ruin this whole thing for you because of you.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was hilarious.
Revenge.
But like, he's also fucking up every single other person.
I know.
Yes and no.
like, yeah,
I
that's
know.
true. He could just be like, that guy's a rogue. You know what I mean? Clearly, he
Yeah.
has the reputation to be like, sorry, folks. And I thought it was funny when he's like, we're going to slow it down. And then Andrew just goes bonkers. And
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah.
all right.
No, it was definitely a good back and forth between them. Because it was like, haha, I got you. I have to find a laugh. And Andrew's like, no, fuck you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And then they vibed afterwards, you know?
Yeah.
Pretty great.
Which is funny because the director wanted you to think that he's like, I don't know. Are they friends now?
No,
No, they have like this
they're
rivalry.
frenemies.
Yeah.
Yeah. They respect each other, but they hate each other.
But they would get older and eventually, like, there's that bond they would have, right? Like, after years and stuff, like, they would hate each other for a
Yeah.
long ass time.
Oh,
Probably.
definitely. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, so Sam.
Yeah.
That slap scene, real or fake?
Oh,
Real.
Tim?
I got to think about how it's cut. Hold on. I think it's fake.
It was fake until they weren't getting a good enough shot. So they
I knew it was
switched
gonna
to
be something
real.
like that. Yeah.
And J.K. Simmons likes to go around. He's like, yeah, I got to slap people around all day. Was I
That's
rushing or dragging?
Yeah. So you do know the difference. I tell you, the deliveries that he has is just like, it's impeccable.
The man won
It's so good.
47 awards for this role.
He
Jesus.
deserved them.
Yeah.
One of them
Destroyed it.
being an Oscar for
Nice.
best
Yeah.
supporting actor. Yeah. This movie won 3 Oscars. The other 2 were film editing and, I'm going to shock you, sound mixing.
I was gonna say.
But the other 2 nominations were Best Adapted Screenplay. Still, I
Adapted from itself. So
yeah,
Yeah.
that's just funny to me at this point. And then the last one is Best Picture.
Mm.
And this is one of the lowest grossing box offices for a Best Picture nomination.
Yeah. I mean, I
Wow.
don't know that a lot of people know this movie. Like whenever
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, have you seen Whiplash? Like I really love it because it's one of my favorites. People are like, what? And then you say
What?
the premise and they're like, what? Like I've had that happen a lot of times.
Yeah. The budget for it was 3.3 million, and then it made 49 million.
Mm.
So it's not like it made nothing, but
It didn't bust.
Yeah.
nowhere near that.
Well, and the guy
Yeah.
who did the music was the guy that did La La Land's music,
Yeah,
right?
2 years later.
Yeah. And so when La La Land came out, I was like, oh yeah, of course it's good. Like Whiplash.
Same director too.
Yeah. People are like, what? I'm like, God damn it. Go watch a movie.
They went to Harvard together.
That's cool.
I know. Maybe John knows them.
They're good at sounding and directing.
They're good at making sound and writing.
Yeah. Make good sound and words.
So Sam has a Zen playlist, Tim. And on this playlist, she puts like nice, peaceful music. And then she's like, I'm going to add some Whiplash music.
Yeah.
Or like one song. And then she added the whole album of Whiplash.
I did, yeah.
And I'm like, why is this all Whiplash? I don't know. I like it. I'm like, but it's not Zen.
It's Zen for me, okay? I enjoy it.
I know.
It's good stuff.
I also wanted to say this won 95 other awards
Holy shit.
and was nominated for 144 more.
That's crazy. Why are there so many awards?
Yeah, how many
I don't
awards
know.
are there?
There's just like a never ending thing so that you can always have an award. Be like,
Part of
it's
it
more
is
of a competition to get nominated than it would be to get an award, I feel like.
Yeah, seriously.
part of it is with a smaller film like this, it's going to stuff like Cannes, it's going to
the film
Telluride,
festivals, yeah.
Toronto. So
Yeah.
that makes more sense.
So they each all have their own.
They each can
Best
like
of the
nominate it for
best.
like 6 awards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what? Is it Golden Globes? That's like right before the Oscars or
think
Emmys?
so.
No, Emmys
I
are
have
TV
no idea.
show.
I don't pay attention to any of it.
So there's like another bigger one right before the Oscars. So that's like another award show.
Well, yeah. There's like, you've got, if you do a festival run, they each have awards, right? And your festival
Yeah.
run could be who knows how fucking long. And then you've got like MTV, I think, does awards. I don't know who
They
watches
used
them,
to.
but I think they do them. Like, I think SAG also does them.
SAG does.
Um,
Same with WAG.
yeah.
No, WGA, not WAG.
Like, I think there's just a lot of awards, which, like, good for them. Like, it is their job, right? But, like,
Yeah.
at what point are you like, God damn, that's a lot of nominations?
Right?
Right. Why is there no cutoff?
Yeah, exactly. We get it. You were good.
We get it. So I wanted to bring, I mentioned this was Sam's Spark film. Tim, have you heard that term?
No.
So basically it's the movie that got her into movies.
Mhm.
Like,
Really?
well, you've always liked film, but how would you better describe Spark film?
I would say, you get into more of, like, the writing and the cinematography and, like, the technical
Okay, I see what you're
aspects,
saying.
if
Okay,
that
makes
sense.
more sense.
Versus
Yeah.
just being like, oh, I like movies to enjoy them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know
'cause
what
I
mean?
like movies, but I don't care about like the techno aspect as much unless it's like super impressive and like I
Yeah.
notice it because of that.
Exactly.
Mine
feel
was
like-
Moonrise Kingdom.
Yeah, so like I feel like it's a
Hmm.
movie that like has a certain style or aesthetic. Like Wes Anderson clearly has an aesthetic. He has a way that he does things and
I
writes
mean-
things and stuff like that. So like I guess like you notice it and then you can take it
Right.
forward.
I would guess that Tim's is probably like Interstellar.
Yeah.
Because,
That's the first one that came to mind. Inception.
Yeah.
so Christopher Nolan,
Yes.
Yeah. And there's other ones. And I was sitting here thinking, I was like, yeah, the music makes sense. And then it's like, well, there's a theme, Nolan.
yeah.
Yeah,
Nolan and
there's
Zimmer.
a few out there that I could probably come up with, but
Yeah, it's like it's when it all comes together and you're like, oh my god, every
Oh,
aspect of this
yeah,
film
you-
is just perfect.
Yeah.
Well, and we've seen plenty of options too where like all of the technical things are right and the movie's still like bad, right? Like
Choppy.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Like I'm just thinking of a few that we've watched for the podcast where I'm like, it should have been great based on all of that, but it's just not.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. The editing, I think, is where that comes into play.
Yeah.
Because like the best way I can relate to that is if you watch The Office
Yeah.
and then you watch The Office super fans version,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
a lot of the episodes are extended because they didn't cut out some, all of
Yeah.
it.
It has it's director's cut basically.
And it's not, I mean, I liked it, but
It's not as clean.
it's not as good
Yeah.
because some of the scenes that are in there are like, okay, they went too far. Like they're bullying on Michael or something, and it's like, okay, now it's not funny. It's just kind of like
You're
all
just
being
kind of
assholes.
a dick.
Yeah, like
And
a
there's a
beat too
lot of
long.
that
Yeah.
they took out that made the show better.
Yeah.
And so like if they flip flop that with something in a movie where everything technical is correct, I could see how it would completely ruin the movie.
Yeah. The one extended film that I believe always must be watched is Lord of the Rings. And thank you for coming to my
Oh, yeah.
TED Talk.
Lord of the Rings is always the answer.
Yeah.
I know.
Exactly.
It's like I would say, like, if I watched that for the first time as an adult, that would probably have been my spark movie.
I could see
Yeah.
that.
But as a child, I abused it as a child. It's like I bet Tim another one could have been V for Vendetta, but
V for Vendetta.
you might not have understood everything at that time.
I definitely didn't.
Yeah. So it's funny to look back.
Yeah. Thinking back now, I actually think Aliens would have been my spark film
Yeah.
because that's kind of where my horror thing kicked off.
Okay.
And that's one of the easily rememberable things. I don't know, that's a weird sentence. Most memorable things that I can think of when it comes to movies, like how long ago it was. And like I can remember watching that and like a couple other films, probably when I shouldn't have been, right? So
yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
are you saying Alien or Aliens?
Alien, sorry, not Aliens. Not the
Sorry.
the first one, the original.
It gets complicated. It's not Alien 2.
Does, because
it's
Aliens. Alien Resurrection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, an Alien has a certain style too, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't
Yes.
see the
Ridley
monster.
Scott's.
It's very quiet. The music is
Mhm.
deliberate. Like
They went real
Yeah.
dark in the Necronomicon to like
yes.
draw everything.
Mhm.
They were deliberate with every single one of their details.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think
In
those
this
are
film-
the movies.
Has that too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's insane. He said he drew some of it off of his band experience because he was intimidated by his band director.
Oh.
And I find that
Okay.
funny.
Yeah.
He may have gotten a chair thrown at him.
No,
Or
he
a
did
folder
not. He
stolen.
just was like freaked out with him. But I did want to bring up at least one last point. Early on, he talks about how he's bad with eye contact. Respect, I get that. I don't like eye contact either.
Yeah.
But at the end, he and Fletcher just eye to eye.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like that's some character growth right there.
That's
Yeah.
true. Nice little detail.
It's all in there, man.
Steel trap.
Figured that one out in the conversation.
Nice. I like it.
I wrote eye contact because I wanted to talk about that. And then I
Mm.
realized that they were staring at each other.
Yeah. Well, that's funny because like when he first meets her, you're like, oh, look how cute they are. And then when he breaks up with
Mhm.
her, you're like, God, you're such a dick. Like,
Yeah.
Dude, in that music that he's like, oh, I know exactly who this is.
yeah.
That's not a real person.
Oh, that's
And
funny.
he's not that they wrote it. The Justin Hurwitz wrote that song.
Oh, that's funny.
So like it was like made for the film for him to
Oh,
look
okay.
like he knew who it was.
Yeah.
And then they didn't have to pay any money.
yeah.
That's brilliant.
Very smart.
I
Smart,
know, right?
Nice. I like it.
Okay. So Tim,
Mhm.
you picked this film.
I
Are you going to
did
flip
pick
it
this
on? And where are you going to rank it?
We've got one spot left and flip on, two and flip off. This movie's too good. It's gonna dethrone some things.
Oh no, for you.
Um,
Sam
yeah,
Sam
this
is like
actually
hyped about this right
this
now.
is actually gonna take number 3 for me and push everything down.
Nice.
Um,
Nice.
So it's under Van Helsing and Sixth Sense.
Okay.
So then Whiplash, I'll go Black Lagoon, Harry Potter, Samurai, Godzilla, Leon, and Bridesmaids. And I'm full on my flip-ons.
Something might get flipped off post.
I'm just looking now, and I'm just like, okay, Bridesmaids probably going to get bumped.
There's a good chance of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was devastated. I was like trying to temper my expectations because I'm like, if Tim hates this film, like I'm gonna be like, that's why I was like, I'm not gonna talk. Like I'm not gonna bias anything.
Yeah, I didn't know you guys liked this film so much. Yeah, it was very good though. I mean, I think people should watch this. It's very good.
Yeah.
I think also we're missing that in culture, just how JK is and leaders and stuff. And yeah, some might see it as like he's a little too over the top or whatever. Yeah, extreme. I'm just like, I get it.
As long as you know what you're signing up for. It's different if like you go in expecting like a normal like dude up there.
That's true. Yeah.
And then you show up and he's throwing chairs at people. You're like, I don't feel good. I'm going to leave. But I'm also going to flip this on.
Nice.
It's going to be in my number 3 spot as well.
Wow. I'm surprised it's that high for you.
It was very difficult. I was deciding between whether or not I was going to go above or below Van Helsing. So it goes like Godzilla, Harry Potter, Whiplash, then Van Helsing.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then the rest of my list, which I've been saying the whole time, and I don't have it up.
Nice.
Sam?
Yeah. I mean, guys, I'm just going to change my tune. I actually hate this movie, and I'm going to flip it off. No, it is my top spot. It's one of my favorite movies. If you go to my Letterboxd profile, it's in my top 5 of all movies ever.
Top 4.
It's number 3 behind Catch Me If You Can and The Way, Way Back, which we have also watched. But I remember when I was like doing it, like your MySpace top 8, I was like, oh God, do I want Whiplash to be first? Like, I don't know. They're all like right there together for me because they're all very different films. But yeah, I love this movie. I love to show people this movie because they're like, what did I just watch? I feel so stressed out right now. It's great. So yeah, it's going to be number 1. And then
everything's getting shoved down.
Yeah, I think that takes all of my flip-on spots as well. So it should be interesting. The last couple episodes. We'll see if I got it right.
I still have one.
That was a smart move. Yes, yes. So you've one in each?
One in each.
That was nice. Good play.
So the critics gave this film a 94%.
Hell yeah, they did.
The audience gave this film a 94%.
Oh, I'm surprised that's that high.
IMDb an 8.5 out of 10. And Google is back with a 92%.
Dang.
Hot damn.
So I want it to be reiterated. This movie just makes me stressed out. I just cannot watch it as much as Sam can.
Constantly.
Yeah. So it's not that I ever dislike it. The movie is just beautifully done. It's just, I just need some relaxing films.
You have to be in the mood for it, was where Sam can watch it whenever.
Yes, exactly. Like,
yeah.
Now, Tim, if you liked this film, another one that's about drumming, if you want to watch another drumming movie, it's called The Sound of Metal.
Oh, yeah, that one's really good too.
It's, I don't remember, Rez something or other. Rez Ahmed. It's about deaf.
Okay.
It's about him going deaf more than drumming.
Interesting.
I think it's on Amazon.
It is an Amazon Prime original.
Yeah. There you go.
But going to next week.
Woo!
Will I also be able to pick a banger? Because these are our last 3 picks. Like, that was Tim's last pick for this season.
Which was hilarious because when I was coming up here, I was like, I got to get the synopsis ready. Like, I was like, this is my film. It was really odd because I was like, wait, I didn't pick this.
And then,
so anyway,
I've got to pick a branching out.
Ooh. So there was a branching out on the board. Tim wasn't crazy. Cool.
Exciting news.
Sounds good. Hey everybody, thanks for listening to today's episode. If you would like to watch what we're watching, you can follow along on Instagram or Threads. We like to post little teasers, little things that are going on. We are at FlipperFlix. We also have a website, flipperflix.com, and Gmail, flipperflix@gmail.com. We appreciate anybody sending in recommendations. We like to watch, what you enjoy, maybe what you didn't like. If you want to torture us sending something terrible, we'd like to watch it anyway. Give our own little unprofessional review. Also, we do like having reviews. So if you didn't enjoy us or you did enjoy us and our unprofessionalism, please let us know. It doesn't matter if it's public, private, however you want to send it in. We'd like to hear from you. Lastly, we drop episodes every Thursday at 1 p.m. So if you are following along, you'll know what's going on the week before, and you'll be able to watch the movie beforehand if you want to, or sit around and wait for the episode to drop and then see our terrible or awesome review.